What's up, everybody? Welcome to the final round. I'm your host, Isiah, and today we're going to be breaking down the UFC 318 card as this took place last night, July 19th, between Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier for the third time. Um, Honestly, it was a decent card. It started off really strong. We had six straight finishes, five of them in the first round. Absolutely wild. And then the rest of the card was decision, so it kind of slowed down near the end. There were some good fights, 100% for sure, but the card started off really strong. So we're gonna get through this um, breakdown, not breakdown, just recap for the first couple fights really quickly because not a lot happened. But yeah, first fight of the night we had Carly Judas versus Nicole Cagliari. I had Cagliari coming into this fight. I thought if she could get it to the fence and get it to the ground, she'd have a lot of success. But I didn't think that if Carly could keep on the feet and keep her range, she'd just pick her apart at distance, and that's exactly what happened. Her takedown defense looked pretty solid. She stayed at distance, picked her shots well, was piecing Cagliari up for all three rounds, and I'm pretty sure she landed a nasty knee to the liver right in the third round that just dropped Cagliari, and she couldn't finish. I mean, you can't really continue after taking a nasty knee to the liver like that. So definitely a good one by Carly. I'd like to see what she does in the future because at flyweight or no, flyweight. We need a lot of new contenders. Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McVeigh. Um, I had Bruno Ferreira win this fight. I thought he could get a first round knockout. Um, I thought Jackson McVeigh was definitely the more grappling type of guy. I didn't think he was ready for this test against Bruno Ferreira. If he had fought Cedric Dumas like he was supposed to, I think he would have got a win. But Bruno Ferreira is 10 times better than Cedric Dumas and has more, wins. And as soon as Bruno got to the ground, he got an arm bar. And once you get it locked in an arm bar, you have to tap or your arm is breaking. So good win by Bruno. I expected it. Definitely, honestly, give Jackson Cedricus in his next fight. Honestly, give this guy a win and after that cut Cedricus. But good win by Bruno. Ryan Spann versus Lucas Bresky. I had Ryan Spann winning this fight by knockout. He got it done by first round guillotine choke. Second first round finish. Lucas Bresky honestly just had nothing on the feet. He really couldn't do nothing. And then Ryan Spann was just so big once you like pushed him against the fence, held him against in the clinch, and then got a nasty guillotine choke and pulled it. Bresky had the tap, dude. No choice, dude. It was a good win by Ryan Spann. He finally got his win at heavyweight. Honestly, he looked a lot more in shape than he did when he fought Waldo Cortez Acosta. So but this is the type of guy who off and on. So don't be surprised he drops the next fight to somebody. But it was a good win by Ryan Spann, and he got the submission. Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachnio. I had Marcin winning this fight. I thought Jimmy had to win a fight since October of 2020. So obviously I'm not going to pick Jimmy to win. But man, Jimmy got the win in the first round. I did say coming into this, Marcin was the better striker, and if Jimmy got this to the ground, which he was going to try to do, he was going to lay and pray. And as soon as he got to the ground, I told him, oh, here we go, it's time to lay and pray. But no, he went for the armbar, dude. He searched for the finish, he got it, and like I said before, you have to tap or you're breaking your arm. And he had that. He might have broken that arm, to be honest. That arm was bending in a way it should not have been bending. All right, Bartchina had to tap. Good, good, solid win by Jimmy. Finally got back in the win column. Maybe we'll give him his confidence back. I'm still gonna fade him in his next fight. I still don't think he against these top guys. He's still young, but I don't think he still has it. I don't think he has it anymore. Islam Duatov versus Adam Fugit. I picked Islam to win this fight, and I was correct. I thought his pace, pressure, and his power was going to be too much for Fugit. I did think Fugit was going to be a lot more durable than he was. I thought Duatov would get this fight by submission, but dude, Islam is that guy, dude. I mean, Adam's not the biggest welterweight or the toughest welterweight, but for a debuting fighter, it's a good first fight. And Islam just, picked him apart and, what was it? He landed a nice left hook right in the first round that dropped Fugit, and then he landed on his back, and he got hit, I think, like two, three unanswered strikes that looked like he was out cold, and they had to stop the fight. It was a great win by Islam. I'm very excited to see what he does in the future. Still, we haven't learned much about him, but I'm excited to watch him fight. Welterweight may gain another contender, but we'll see. Teba Gautier versus Robert Valentine. Obviously, like everyone, I picked Teba Gautier to win this in the first round. He got it done within the first round. It looked easy. It looked like Robert Valentine should have not been in there. Teba's shots, the power on the shots, once it connected with Valentine, even through the guard, it had a massive effect. And Teba just put him out. And I mean, arguably you could cut Robert at this point, but we'll see. Teba, I really like Teba Gautier. I really do like him. He's patient with his strikes. He's got, from what I've seen, decent fight IQ. Doesn't load up on the shots. Uh, when he's searching for a finish, like if the opponent ducks, he's not winging shots. He'll throw a knee. He's very smart with the shot, so I really like Teba, and he got a good first round victory. Francisco Prado versus Nikolai Valentigov. Um, I picked Francisco to win this fight. I did say I do think he's way too small for welterweight, and that's exactly what happened. Nikolai was just far bigger than him. Prado was landing some shots, but Nikolai landing the better shots. And once he got to the ground, Nikolai had, I think, more success than him. Um, Not much really happened. Um, Prado Prado needs to fucking move back down the lightweight. I don't know why he's at welterweight. He doesn't want to cut the weight, probably. Dude, just cut the weight, all right? Cut the weight. You're too small for this division. These boys are big, and they're going to outsize you, and you're not going to have any success. So go down the lightweight where you're going to have some more success. And Nikolai Valentigov got a good win over a young guy. He's like 36, 35 years old. He's going to get slapped in his next fight or something. He got a good win, but don't expect anything big from him. We had Brendan Allen versus Marvin Vettori. I picked Brendan to win this fight. I thought on paper he should win this fight, but I couldn't trust his IQ. But his IQ held up in this fight. Marvin's IQ it did not. All right. I don't know what more you do with Marvin at this point, but it was a good fight, dude. They both came to scrap. They both came to bang. They were Brendan was landing some good shots. He trusted his striking finally trusted his striking, and he was landing some decent shots. He wasn't, his defense was definitely lacking. He was definitely getting hit with some good shots as well, but he was landing the better shots, landing the more damage on Marvin's face, and Marvin just really couldn't get anything done. He landed some good shots, but nothing fluid, nothing power, no combos, nothing. And there was a moment I think in the first round, Marvin looking good, almost had a finish, but Brendan Allen got the win in his home state. It was a really good fight. Beef got squashed, but I don't know what you do with Marvin at this point. Brendan Allen, you can give him maybe a couple guys, but I don't think well, Brendan Allen's not top five material, in my opinion. He's a good fighter, but he's not top five. Kyle Phillips going to Vinicius Oliveira. Going into this fight, the odds were kind of tightening, and I was kind of confused onto why. Because I thought Vinicius Oliveira should be a big favorite, but all I'm gonna say is this: Vinicius Oliveira is a future fade. All right, this dude, now that he's high ranked, he's gonna get a high ranked opponent. He is a future fade. He is going to lose one of his next couple matchups, 1000%. All right. He better have been injured coming into this fight for how he looked, right? Yes, Kyle Phillips is a good prospect. And in that first round, he started strong. And I thought he was going to get Vinicius all air out of there. I was like, holy shit. But he started to gas himself and wilted in the last 2 rounds like I thought. And what I thought was going to happen was Vinicius was going to start pressuring more, but he gassed himself too. I don't know why he fights the way he fights. He's throwing his shots full force from his hip and missing, all right? He is keeping his hands down by his hips, walking forward. And yes, you're 28. Yes, you may have a chin. But no, no. He got the win. He got a good win. I want him to win because he's on the prospect list, but from what I saw in this fight, I am not impressed with how he fought, dude. He is going to get. He's going either get. He is either going to get slept in one of his next fights, or he's just going to lose dominantly. All right. The way he lost, some dude with great wrestling. He's calling out Sean O'Malley. He's calling out Umar Nurmagomedov, right? Those guys are gonna fucking mollywop this guy. Him keeping his hands down at his fucking hips, Sean's gonna piece him up and knock him out. Alright? Even Umar can knock him out. Umar's gonna take him down and fucking ground and pound him. Submit him. Yes, he got the win. He looked I'm not gonna say he looked good. He looked he looked he looked. Alright, that's what I'll say. He looked. He got the win, but in his next fight, depending on who he fights, I might fade him. I might fade him. We had Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. Michael Johnson, 39 years old, turned back the clock and schooled the young gun. Coming to this fight, Daniel Zellhuber was cocky, dude. He was cocky more than anything. Saying, dude, you're 39 years old and you're still fighting. What? You fucking suck. Dude, and Michael Johnson's over there like, dude, you probably were watching me growing up. That's gay. As soon as I heard that, I was so excited to see Mike Johnson win. And honestly, he for 39 years old, he looked like the faster fighter, and that's shocking. He looked the faster fighter. He landed the better shots. He was pushing. He was pushing the pressure. He was pushing the pace. He was doing everything in this fight. Daniel Hoover looked a bit gun shy. He was very reliant on his kicks. He was ripping that head kick a lot, and Michael Johnson knew it, and he kept his guard up the whole fight. And it did, definitely did connect a couple times, but he was just too reliant on his kicks. That he didn't throw enough with his hands. He didn't let his hands go enough, and it cost him. And honestly, Michael Johnson did hurt Daniel Hooper in this fight. He knocked him down, I believe, once. I think it was the second round. Um, so yeah, Michael Johnson turned back the clock. He's on a 3-fight win streak right now, and he's just got to win over a talented young prospect. And they're just gonna start feeding young prospects to Michael Johnson. I guarantee you, just to see how good the prospects are. Right? They gave it to Daniel, kind of a bust. We'll see who they give Michael Johnson next, but good win by him. And yeah, he schooled the young gun. I love it. The coin flip does it again, man. He fucking does it again. And moving on, we had Patricio Pitbull versus Dan Ige. Pitbull finally got his first UFC win. He had just kind of outschooled Dan Ige for 3 rounds. Um, kind of, he hurt Dan Ige too in the second round. I thought he was going to finish Ige for the first time in Ige's career, but no, dude. He looked good. His takedowns and his ground control looked really good. They were well timed. Danier did defend a couple of them pretty well, but Patricio landed the better shots. He was, you know, landed the more damaging strikes, and yeah, he got his first UFC win. And at 38 years old, it kind of makes you wonder if this guy was here at 32 years old in his prime, how well would he have done? Because Danny is no slouch. And he is no slouch. He's a good fighter. And honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if he won the fight. But no, pretty sure he got his first win. Looked good. Um, Definitely don't give him a top five guy like a year again. Give him someone he can beat. Try and give him somebody. Give him depending on who wins the Mosvar versus Aaron Pico fight. Once it gets rescheduled, I believe for 319. Mosvar should win. So once that happens, you do Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. I think that's a great match. And it should have happened in Bellator, but Aaron Pico could just never get to the top, and it's at a perfect moment where they can happen. So fucking barn burner of a fight. We had Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. I was very confident in Kevin Holland coming in this fight. I thought he was gonna win this fight, man. I thought he was gonna get hurt D Rod and then submit him. But D Rod looked good, dude. His boxing looked like it was a problem for Kevin. I thought Kevin was the more technical striker, and honestly, Kevin probably is the more technical striker. But sometimes that technique, once you get a certain type of boxer who just is gonna push the pace and move forward and just try and land his shots, it's gonna not always work. And that's what happened in this fight. D Rod was hurting him bad in that first round, dude. Bad. In the second round, Kevin started having some success near the end of the round, and he was winning the fight. And I had him Kevin Holland by sub. I had a parlay for these last three fights: Kevin by sub, Paulo by decision, Max by decision. $3 would have got me 122. I almost won it, but Kevin lost. And you normally, when Kevin loses, I'm usually like, fucking Kevin. He didn't try. He gave up. He didn't want to win. No. Kevin was in this fight every fucking second. He got hurt multiple times and he could have quit on himself. He stayed in the fight and he tried to win that fucking fight. Alright? You cannot fucking give Kevin any fucking grief for this fight. He tried his hardest to win. D Rod was just on point and was landing better shots in this fight. And yeah, Kevin Holland's and I guess D Rod's takedown defense was good because Kevin Holland wasn't strong enough to take him down. It was kind of clear. It kind of just looked like D Rod out muscled him when Kevin tried to take him down. But it was a great fight. Honestly, this could have been fight of the night. And then, but by the end of the third round, both guys were on the ground, fucking gas is all hell. So it makes sense. Uh, Good win by D Rod. Honestly, good showing by Kevin Holland. I'm still he's gonna fight in like two. He's gonna fight on 320 in Vegas. Watch. He's gonna fight somebody on 320. Come back to this video when he fights somebody. All right. Mark my words. Good win by D Rod. D Rod's ranked in 2025. Fucking hell. Co-main event of the evening, we had Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. I picked Paulo Costa to win this fight. Um, but I wouldn't have been surprised if Roman was going to win. But I said if Paulo came looking like the Paulo of old, he was going to win this fight. But what Roman does well is he starts strong, and during the later rounds he starts to wilt. Exact opposite happened, right? Paulo started strong, built it to the end, and Roman started coming on to the end. Um, but dude, those first two rounds, Paulo looked on point. Not like the Paulo of old, but you saw some glimpses of that Paulo of old. But he was motivated more than fucking ever to get a win, all right? And you saw it. And against a dude who, while he is 34, he's not young, was seen as maybe a future contender. It's a good win for Paulo, dude. Considering his last win is Luke Rockhold back in fucking 2022, it's a good win. Um, but no, Paulo's was ripping nasty body shots. Was hurt Roman on the feet in the first two rounds. Didn't knock him down. No, he did knock him down once. Landed 102 strikes to 48 strikes. But in that third round, you could tell Paulo was a bit gassed, and Roman was starting to land some decent shots. But Paulo was still in there. Paulo got the win, and Paulo looked good, man. I'm glad he won. I'm very happy he won. And now for the next pay per view, I'm hoping fate wills it so. Gourmet Chechen is going to lose. Dricus du Plessis is going to beat Hamzat Chimaev. And then we're finally going to get Hamzat versus Paulo. I want to see that fight so bad. So bad, dude. I want to see that fight. But good win by Paulo. I hope he fights Chimaev next. Glad he got the win. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. Max Holloway finally got his win over Dustin Poirier, landing 201 strikes to Dustin's 109. Um, I thought Dustin was going to win this fight. I thought even at their stages of their career, Dustin's boxing was going to be a bit too much of a problem for Max, just like we've seen in Max's other fight with other boxers. But Max looked on point, dude. He looked way on point. He um, was the volume guy like he usually is, landing his shots. He was hurting Dustin, landing some clean shots on Dustin, and the first round it looked like he was about to finish Dustin. And it was like, holy shit, he gonna finish Dustin's first round in the last fight. Oh god. But Dustin stayed in there. And in the second round, it looked like Dustin would win. He hurt Max. He hurt Max bad. And he jumped to Gilly, dude. He fucking jumped to Gilly like he usually does. He had to do it one more fucking time. Oh, fuck. But the last three rounds, Max just looked like the more fresher fighter, landing the more strikes, the more volume. Dustin just couldn't get his game off. Max, that was what he does best. It was moving around the octagon, staying slick, slipping the shots. Dustin just couldn't really get close enough to Max to really throw. And when he did, Max was landing some fucking good combinations like he usually does. So it was a good win by Max. At this stage of his career, I think what Max is, he like he said, he has 3, 4 fights left in his career. So I think at this stage, the type of fights he's going to be fighting is just BMF title fights and fun fights. Like, don't be surprised at MSG this year if him versus Charles Oliveira for the BMF title gets booked, because that seems like a likely matchup. Um, that's what Max is gonna be doing, because I don't think he gets any type of title fight against Ilya. No one wants to see that fight, and he's got three. He got at least three guys that are being talked about for a title shot over him already. You got Paddy, Arwen, and Justin. But enough about Max. Um, Dustin Poirier's last fight. It was fucking sad, dude. But he didn't go out, man. He didn't go out. He didn't get finished. He almost did though. Um, but he showed, hey, he's still in it, dude. He almost hurt Max. Or no, he almost finished Max. He hurt Max bad. Um, and he stayed in there every step of the way, and yeah, that was the last time you ever see Dustin the Diamond Poirier fight, dude. And it was really sad, when they, his post fight speech, and then when they did that tribute video. Me and Jake were at B-Dubs like we usually are, watching the fight, and we're watching the promo. We're just both sitting there. We both weren't saying a word, just watching it. We're both emotional and sad. And the tribute video they made was fucking phenomenal, dude. That was phenomenal. It was put together so well. I'm glad this week their promotion for this fight alone far surpassed any type of promotion they did for any other card this year, maybe other than 317. They finally promoted a fight. Good job. But Dustin Poirier rides off into the sunset for the final time. He's a Hall of Famer, 100%. There's never going to be another Dustin Poirier. The way he fights, the way he bounces back, and for the first time in his professional career, his 41 fight professional career, he has lost 2 fights in a row. And that probably means it's definitely time to hang it up, because he has never lost 2 fights in a row. He's always bounced back well. So, yeah, it's sad to see him go, but I'm happy he's doing it on his own terms. He's retiring himself before the sport retires him, like a lot of other guys, and we will miss him. But on Tuesday, when the UFC roster watch page post UFC fighter removed, Dustin Poirier. It'll sink in. It was gonna be sad, but it was a legendary 15-year career to watch. The first fight I ever watched him was right around the time he fought Conor for the first time. That's when I really started watching UFC was because of Conor, to be honest. Um, and that's when I really got introduced to Dustin and just watching him grow as a fighter. Ever since then, it's just been crazy, dude. It's sad to see him go. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time. He's everyone's favorite, one of everyone's favorite fighter. He's your favorite fighter's favorite fighter, and yeah, sayonara, Dustin. It was a good career. But yeah, it was a good, decent card. It was a great fight. Max played plus. Spoiler. Finally got his win over Dustin. I'm kind of glad he didn't go 0-3 in two trilogies, so it's good. But yeah, good card. Pay attention to all the future breakdown videos I'm going to do. I keep saying I'm going to do a early prediction video for Pantoja versus Van. I have it all set up. I just need to do it. And also, I'm going to be starting to create promo videos. Just trying to build videos. So stay tuned for that. It might take me a while because I'm still learning the editing process. So yeah. And also to my co-host Jake, if he's watching, Corey Sanhagen. He's gonna be more. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked the video. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, share this with anyone. Just anything helps. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. And remember, all the greatest fighters leave it all in the final round. Peace.